Let the games begin.
Hey there YouTube, what's up with? And welcome back to the Hermit Gamers playthrough of X-Men Legends 2. We don't have any skills to distribute? No, just stat points. Okay, that's fine. I'll wait till we've got another level before distributing those stat points. Now, we pushed through pretty fast in our last episode, and in this one, we should definitely push through to the Act Boss. However, first things first, I just gotta grab Gambit, throw him on my team.
Gambit.
So we can get the character dialogue between him and Pyro. So, let's do this.
Sure thing, mate. Hey, what are you doing here, Gambit? You're an X-Man.
Even though that accent is like, it is so not an Australian accent, or at least not a typical accent, I still love it.
Well, you know me, Pyro. I'm always turning up just where you don't expect me.
Yeah, right. Say, I don't suppose you could help a fella mutant out, eh? I'm really in a lot of pain here.
Ooh, that do indeed look like it hurt. But I gotta ask you, friend, how come you wind up in this predicament, huh?
Gambit, you're sounding pretty retarded. Come you wind up in this predicament? Getting hit with a sling blade. Some folks cause a Kaiser blade. I cause a sling blade.
This really isn't the time to be playing 20 questions, mate. We gotta move quick. The boss is gonna be back soon.
Who this boss man you talking about? Apocalypse? Huh?
Gambit, come on, you sound retarded. Stop it.
Nah, Apocalypse took off a couple of hours ago, but he left one of his horsemen in charge. A bloke named Abyss. And believe you me, Abyss is one seriously scary character. Now would you please get me out of this bloody contraption?
Well, I suppose I might. Now don't you go running off while I'm taking me a little look around, yeah?
Alright, let's action replay that shit.
Oh,
Poor old Pyro.
crikey, am I glad to see you. Come on, get me out of this. Stop being so suspicious and free me. The boss man is going to be back soon. Apocalypse left a couple of hours ago. He put Abyss in charge, and believe you me, Abyss is every bit as nasty. Now come on, and figure a way to get me out of this bloody thing. Sure thing,
We
mate.
gotta bust up these generators. Free the Pyro. And he'll actually come with us and help us.
Well, that was getting to be a royal pain in the backside. Thanks for cutting me loose, mate. You gotta be kidding me. Us working with the X-Kids? Well, you know me. Always standing up for our people. Guess I was getting in Apocalypse's face too much. Sure he does. I was telling Apocalypse he'd better not mistreat anyone, and he better make sure everyone has enough food and medical attention, and other important stuff like that.
I gotta love it.
You bet your bottom dollar it is. And the next thing I know, I'm being tortured as an example to the others. I'm a real hero, I am. No, I'm not. It's the honest truth. Okay, maybe I was kinda working for Apocalypse after he took over. Yeah, but I got tired of his constant yammering on about survival of the fittest. So I swiped some tech bits from his vault and I made a dash for it.
You dash for it.
Yeah, it kinda played out like that. But now I'm back with the Brotherhood 110%. And I'm here to stay.
And he kicks ass. He's one of the most OP characters in this game.
Yeah, he took off a couple of hours ago. Left one of his horsemen in charge. Abyss. He's one nasty bloke. You ever see him? You give him a wide berth.
No, we're gonna go kick his ass.
Anytime, my friend. Anytime.
So we'll have Pyro, he'll like follow us around, he'll help us out. Flamethrower some bad guys.
Now you know, don't mess with Toad.
Nobody fucks with it though. Ooh, uncanny. That is plus damage. What it is. I'm kind of tempted to give it to Toad for his Xenomorph acid. Oh, you barter. I mean, Magneto could put it on. It's better than the irradiated thing that he's got, but that's still giving him some damage. Oh, you barter. Yeah, good. That's about tank. Cost 2, it's not a big deal. And now we got to fight our way down this like main hall, which is pretty thick with enemies. It's probably the best place in Act 1 for getting just EXP and loot. Keep coming back to this map, although obviously you have to like empty your... You have to load like a whole bunch of maps so that your cache... is cleared out. I hate these freaking birds that like pull their little gorilla attacks. So they like pull you forward. You don't necessarily want to go forward, but they pull you forward. Also, I just remembered that I actually I need to go back and get another data disk that I missed. I can't forget that. Any AP potions. Abnormal. Is that plus damage? I didn't remember. Might need to just adjust my volume just slightly. I know there's a comic book up on one of these ledges. You buddy? Alright, seasonal. That's plus damage. Alright, it's nice. I like it a lot. There it is. It's quite tricky to jump. You can jump up there with Toad, but it's tricky. So much easier to just grab a flyer. It's freaking birds. They just keep coming out of nowhere. And there'll be a couple more boss mobs before we get to the end. And I've got to remember to switch to Sunfire. Before we get to the door, because that's what triggers the pyro dialogue. Be careful. Because if I trigger it without Sunfire, I won't actually be able to get it at all. And yeah, there's a weapon actually here. So I'll get that dialogue, I'll run back, and I'll get the data disk that I missed. It's not far. Unfortunately, there isn't an extraction point like close by or anything, so... it's the worst skin. Put on your awesome AOE skin when you're on fire like about us. There we go. And there's Pyro. So now, if I come to the door...
Sunfire? As one fire mutant to another? I'm telling you, you don't want to go that way.
Why, Pyro? Is this not the direction to Abyss?
Honestly, this is a pretty boring character dialogue, but I want to show them all to you, so, you know.
Yes, it is! And that's precisely why you don't want to be headed that way. The guy's a bloody lunatic!
But that is why we came here. Why we fought so many battles. We must face Abyss and defeat him so that Genosha can be freed.
Genosha can fend for itself, mate. Don't go getting yourself killed over it!
I do not understand. Do you not want to aid your people in their time of need?
Look, I know you're into the whole honor thing, but the Brotherhood operates under a much different principle. Usually the pursuit of money and power.
But other members of your team are here. They are willing to fight Abyss.
The other members of my team haven't seen Abyss in action. If they had, they'd be heading out just like I am. See you later, maybe.
Take care. So long.
Very
Don't get
well.
all weepy on me. Let's not drag this out or anything.
Head back. Mit all speed. Make sure I haven't missed anything on any of these ledges over here. Doesn't look like it. Get out of the face!
How
Bird.
pathetic.
This is Bushwick. Xbox Fortnite. Shrubbery Month. Deciduous Decade. Elmion. I'm running out of... There it is. Sneaky data disk. That's maxed out data disks for this act, so that's good. We've gotten all of our homing beacons as well. I think I've gotten all comics and, you know, concept art, but I'm not too fussed about collecting all of them. Alright, come on, Magneto. And there's something I want to do when I get to the end here, just because it gives me uber chuckles. Also, it's like, yeah. Magneto doesn't have a big ego or anything.
He lies!
That's just too good. Anyway.
I understand.
Who has... Actually, looks like Toad's ahead. That's okay, though.
Yes.
He'll be the one I use against Abyss. But for now... Ooh, box! So that ability, Reality Shift, has just a set chance to turn people into boxes. It's pretty cool. If you're going to build Wander as like a straight sort of hex caster, that's definitely what you want to do around. And the fact that it can box people is just handy. Obviously the instant knockout won't work against bosses and the like, but it's still cool. Boo. So let's go in for our fight with Abyss. So I actually I got completely screwed over by my camera. So I had to literally just play my way back here, and I'm gonna have to do this fight again, which is not a big deal. To get back to where I was. However, I lost some nice gear that I found during the last run, which is kind of annoying. Although, actually, that is, yeah, that's potentially a pretty serious improvement. Marvelous. So I'd probably give that to Jogsy. Yeah, I want Toad like doubling up on add damage gear, and there's a pretty simple reason why, and it's literally just because the like melty acid effect of his Yucca Spit will make the first stage of this fight so much easier. So Abyss isn't much of a challenge, to be honest.
Oh, please! You've come to collect what's rightfully yours? You're going to need a lot more than righteous indignation to win Genosha back.
And, I mean, I like the VAs in this game, like, don't get me wrong, I think this guy's doing a good job. I'm sure this is what he was, like, told to do, but I don't know, this just feels more Joker than Abyss to me, but what are you gonna do?
My, this is indeed rape talk from people who ran away at the first sight of Apocalypse's army. If only he were here to scare you off again.
I didn't run away from shit, boy. I thought Apocalypse was here. I was gonna kick his ass.
He found what he came to Genosha for, so he left. Oh, very good, yes. Apocalypse found a subject with harmonic DNA. But what's best is, of all the mutants in Genosha, only Quicksilver had it. Correct. But you should focus on more important matters, namely me.
You overestimate your importance, son. So, let's get our secretion on.
All right.
Right.
Leech, and we'll go drop some acid on this fool because he loves to stand in one place.
I hope you appreciate the gravity.
You can see it's hitting him.
Situation.
He can't be hurt when he's in that state. But we'll start stacking it. Scarpering. There he goes. Run away, Abyss. You done got acid. Now this is where I actually ended up quote unquote losing. It wasn't actually a loss, it was literally just the game screwing me over. Basically, you have unlimited time to loot in this area, but once you follow him into the next area, it puts you on the clock, gives you a countdown. You've got to get onto the... follow him onto the dirigible within like 30 seconds or something. which is usually more than enough time to loot that area because there's a lot of nice boxes. And this being a boss area, why can I not break this? There you go. You know, crates just have like good drop values, so it's always worth it. And there's a lot of them in that area, like stacked into a very tight space. So it's definitely worth looting. It's a bit tight. If you have an ability like Secretion or something that makes you faster, then, you know, you should have no problem with it anymore. But here's what happened. I'd just gone through and my camera like refused to orient itself in a way where I could actually see my character and see what they were doing. So I spent about 10 seconds just waiting for my camera to reset itself. And ended up running out of time. That won't happen this time though. I'm gonna make sure these guys are like,
Come on now, keep close.
right with me.
Whatever. Come on now, keep close.
And I'll probably use jugs to do the actual looting here. So you can use his brutal blitz to smash more boxes at a time. So we got 50 seconds. We got loads of time. And you see what I mean about the looting here being worthwhile. And if I worried about time, I could switch back to Toad, pop Secretion on again to make us faster. But it's not necessary. Ooh, look at all those tech bits. Juicy, juicy, juicy.
Okay.
And we're actually going to need jugs for this section, so... Blimp-surfing, radical, extreme sport of the 90s.
You fools certainly are determined to get yourselves killed. Well then, come along, and I'll try to accommodate you.
So once again, I think we fight a Bliss, we beat the crap out of him, he'll jump onto the other blimp, and that'll start like the last of this fight. He tends to go like ham after who you have selected. So select someone tanky, and now he'll throw these bombs. I don't know if you need might to throw them back, but I always just use someone who has might anyway. Now in theory you can throw these guys off the blimp, and it is pretty satisfying, but it's also a bit tricky to get it nailed right, so... Just try to focus on the bombs. Your teammates have a really nasty habit of doing nothing in this fight. You can easily get overwhelmed if you're not manually calling for help. Anyway, this will be the last stage of this fight. Oh yeah! What a beautiful finisher. Well, technically the last stage of this fight. We do have one last stage, but Abyss won't actually be involved in this. We just have to arm all these bombs, blow them up from the inside. Yeah, each one of the bombs is protected by one of these worm things. Just turn one into a box, which is pretty cool.
Don't mess with Toad.
And this is pretty weird. Around this little wormhole. Bomb and the out. Whoops. Accidentally. Yep. And victory is ours. Sorry for this. You can't bench stuff like this. Money, give me items.
An exemplary job. With Abyss out of the way, the rest of Apocalypse's guards should be no trouble. Once you've finished, return to me at the Sanctuary. Then we can travel to the X-Mansion and begin our search for Polaris. We must discover where Apocalypse is holding her prisoner.
Can't we weird? First things first. Toad can put out fires with his saliva, which is pretty cool. I don't know why that fire isn't being put out, but whatever. Yeah, so probably will go back and get the cutscene. It's been a fairly short episode. Shame none of us got a level out of that.
Yes.
But level 15, that's a good place to be going up to Act 2.
Hi. Come back anytime.
The thing, like, they have the exclamation mark over their head, like they want you to talk to them, but then you go to talk to them, nothing happens. Whatever. I'll sell any equipment we have that we don't need. Oh, you bought her. Terabad. Oh, it's better than just a regular suit. So.
Hello.
Yeah, we haven't had the greatest luck with equipment, but now that I've finished Act 1, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to do a lot of replaying those like last few areas to level up our characters. Get everyone up to level 15, so I can use whoever I want. In next act, Nightcrawler is the only character I'm determined to bring because he, you know, if you see the act and you've read Age of Apocalypse, you understand why he should be there. If we had Mystique, then she would be there as well, but we don't. So, you know, the other 3 slots are pretty much free. I'll probably bring Rogue because she has a character dialogue, and it'd be interesting just to show you guys the contrast between 2 of the game's tanks. Rogue is not as good as Juggernaut.
That was a most impressive victory over Abyss. He has a reputation as a vicious opponent. Now that Genosha has been freed, we can return to the X-Mansion and formulate a plan to rescue Polaris from Apocalypse. Shall we go now?
Yes. You show us that sexy cutscene.
Honestly, Charles, I don't mind if everyone is helping out with relief in Genosha. An empty mansion means I can concentrate on locating Apocalypse's base.
Understood. Have a pleasant evening, Beast.
And you as well, Charles.
I had come here for the Xavier protocols, but I can make use of you as well.
Ow.
Let's get to the sub-basement. We can deal with our new pet later.
What? That's creepy.
You'll be blind without Cerebro, Xavier.
No Quicksilver slow-mo montage?
Apocalypse has indeed grown bold. For him to march into the X-Mansion and kidnap Beast is incomprehensible. I'm afraid so. All the equipment we've grown to rely upon has been destroyed, most notably Cerebro. But all that can be replaced. Right now, our primary concern is the return of Beast. If he hadn't had the forethought to scrawl "The Savage Land" on the floor of the X-Mansion, we'd have no idea where to look. All that will be explained in time. For the moment, just know that this settlement is called Avalon. It's located in a vast, untamed country known as the Savage Land. When you get a chance, introduce yourselves to our host, Kazar.
Tut, I will.
Of utmost importance, you should speak with Pyro. He is concerned as to the whereabouts of Mystique. Good luck to you.
So, I would do a trivia game, but I'm not entirely certain who we're going to be bringing with us.
2 hours later.
Jean Grey.
Yeah, I'll bring Jean actually. She's
Age of Apocalypse.
she's got some the way I build her might be of interest to you guys. I actually build her as a melee character, just like with Wanda, and I think it's the strongest way to build her. But I won't go through doing all their skill points and so on yet because I still need to level everyone up to level 16, and I'll probably level like everyone while I'm at it. I might record that and just like show it to you guys in like super fast forward just so you know I've done it. I don't want anyone to think that I'm just like using a trainer or anything. We will play the trivia game though. So Angel is extremely wealthy, British, afraid of heights, the owner of the one. Wolverine made his debut in The Incredible Hulk. video game X-Men Legends, what was the name of the base Magneto had in orbit of Earth? I'm going to say Asteroid M. In X-Men Children of the Atom was Avalon, and if you've ever heard the Avalon theme for Magneto, man, it's awesome. Whoever wrote that, A, was very musically inclined, like obviously very talented composer, but just obviously had the best grasp of Magneto's character. It's just like so much like despair and desperation. It's just, I love it. It's amazing, and it makes that fight one of the greatest boss fights in like arcade gaming history. It doesn't hurt. He's an absolute monster, and he will make you just wish you'd never been born. I mean, it's no like, you know, Rugal King of Fighters such shit, but it's pretty bad. It's always Wolverine. Wolverine has been everything. He's been everywhere. He's been in every book simultaneously in most cases. Destiny was not part of the Brotherhood. She was just Mystique's, you know, sort of. It's kind of like they had this sort of related, sort of like lesbians, but at the time, I think it was like Chris Claremont, like couldn't be open about it, and he wanted to do this thing where it was like Mystique had like changed sexes to like impregnate Destiny, and that was how Nightcrawler was born, and that was like the whole mystery as to like who his father was, and it was actually Mystique. It's interesting to see like how comics have changed, and like, you know, you couldn't get away with that back then, but these days it's like you almost like have to do something like that. It's like the priorities change. Yeah, we know that one. Garrock. First playable character. It's like I said, it's always Wolverine. It's always Wolverine. How many fingers? The fuzzy one has 3 fingers, I believe. Yep. Lucky Man, Shanna O'Hara. Interesting story about how Shanna O'Hara, like how her comic got started. Shanna the She-Devil. Hold on, which person was Steve? Well, she's Graydon Creed's mother, she's Greg's adopted mother, she's Nightcrawler's mother, she's not Mikhail Rasputin's anything. But yeah, interesting story how Shanna the She-Devil got started. This was like way back in the day, like Marvel wanted to try to get more girls reading their comics, because like people talk about like comics as like all boys club, and you know, they don't try to appeal to girls, and that's such a pile of shit. Like once upon a time they used to have like comics, like huge genres of comics that were just like, that, you know, were basically like no boys allowed. I mean, yes, it was very sort of stereotypically girly, kind of like the old, you know, cliche about like going into the toy aisle, you have like the girl aisle and the boy aisle. It was a bit like that, but Marvel basically wanted to put out comics like that and capture some of the readership that was out there. So they got in a bunch of female writers, and I think they did 3 titles, and Shanna the She-Devil was one of them. One of the others, and this just gives me such a chuckle, was a character called Night Nurse. And which character? I'm going to say Rogue, because she was his wife in Age of Apocalypse. And yeah, Night Nurse. She wasn't actually a superhero. She was like a nurse who like went out in New York like at night, basically like being a nurse to superheroes. It's like, it sounds so bad, but at the same time, it's like, I actually think you could make a pretty decent story out of that. Joseph's a clone of Magneto. Iceman's real name is Bobby Drake. Who's not a member of the Brotherhood. Eunice the Untouchable is Magneto. It technically isn't, but whatever. I'm gonna say it's Lupa. As a boy, Nightcrawler's horrible. I would give anything just to be like him. Who served alongside Cable in his mercenary group 6-pack? Now, what is Bishop's mutant power? Absorbs energy and recharges it. Also, is a badass. Kazar's father came to Savage Land in search of antimatter, which I'm pretty sure is vibranium. What are Forge's powers? Mary Suism. Yeah, basically plot convenience are his magic powers. Kazar was originally named Kevin Ponder. I wonder if he's related to Mr. Luton Ponder of Captain Planet fame. You'll pay for this, Captain Planet. Now, I have no fucking idea. Oh my god, that was such a guess. What evil villain. Not a villain, an evil villain. And only one force can stop this evil. I'm just joking off, bitch. Heather Cameron is known. Oh my god, they're gonna be started on that whole lifeguard and slipstream thing. It was like they clearly did a lot of research because like I used to live in Service Paradise. I know what it looks like, and you know I remember like opening the kite page and being like, wow, this is like Service Paradise. It really looks like it should. And then like you know the characters would come on screen and it'd be like it was like a lifeguard like from Baywatch, like you know with like the red one piece and like the little shorts and the long blonde hair, and it's like that is not how lifeguards in Australia look. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. Yeah, Magneto #1, of course. What name does Magneto go by? Eric Michelle. Mikhail is the brother of Colossus. Actually, yeah, I probably should bring Colossus in this episode. So maybe Colossus can replace Gambit or Jean. He has a personal stake in what's going on here. Actually, you might have him just replace Rogue after we get her character dialogue. We'll see. Colossus first learned he could turn into metal when he saved his sister from a runaway tractor. Surprisingly, there weren't any functional tractors in the Soviet Union at that time. In the video game X-Men Legends, what was the code name of the young one the X-Men saved in New York City from Blob and Steve? Bishop is a time traveler from which century? Oh, okay. I should have known that, but what do you do? Arkady Grigorovich. Nightcrawler was once the leader of the following group: Excalibur. Pyro's real name is John Paradise. And 5,000. Soren's real name, Dr. Karl Lycos. And the whole thing with him like calling himself Soren was like, it was so bad. It's like, he was like, I'm going to be the ultimate villain, so I shall name myself after the ultimate villain. You will call me Soren. It was like, it was bad. Death, war, pestilence, and famine form what group? It sounds like a metal band, but obviously it is. It's the Four Horsemen, which could be the name of a metal band. And Pyro, he can control the fire. You are a god among insects. What is Sunfire's real name? Shirashida. They've just given these to us. Aurora Munray's codename is Storm. Omega Red's arm cars are made from what material? Carbonidium. I'll never not remember that because of all my playing, like, all the verse games on the arcade. Carbonidium Smasher! Toad first appeared in here. Where is the Savage Land located? Antarctica. Who is Mystique's best friend? Oh my god, why did I knew it was Destiny. I'm literally about to say they're a little bit more than friends, mate. And somehow I clicked Scarlet Witch. The Savage Land is protected from freezing temperatures by Shanna. Yeah, you know, I mean she's pretty hot, so it's technically feasible, obviously. Mikhail Rasputin has been a Russian cosmonaut. Acrobat. That was a bit of a guess. I admit. Shine the She-Devil. Garrock. Now I know this was like a long time ago. I'm gonna guess. Oh, that was a bit lucky. I know this one though. Yeah, I'm back to start. Let's see if we actually got any levels out of that. No? Shame. Close though. So yeah. Right now, I'm gonna be saving. I mean, I'll talk to the professor, get his.
Hello. I want it understood that the X-Men are to set the example for the team. You must not give in to your animosity towards the Brotherhood. I realize that. But it appears our fates are intertwined for the moment. So for the sake of Beast, please learn to work with the Brotherhood. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. So with that, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Yeah. Watch your way.